Hi everyone, I'm Teddy Casterton, ahead of the ICC European qualifiers for the T20 World Cup. We're speaking to Esther from the Netherlands. The qualifiers will be taking place from the 26th to 30th of August 2021, only 4 days away in Spain. Hi Esther, thanks for agreeing to speak to me. How are you and the team feeling about the upcoming tournament?
Good. Hi, Ted. Nice to be here again and taking the time to talk over the Dutch women's team ahead of the qualifier. I think it's going to be a really good tournament, and for a lot of the teams getting back into the swing of cricket. Only a few weeks ago, the Dutch team was able to play their first game, and I believe over 600 days or so. It was a long time before they were able to play their first international game again. So it's great that cricket is able to pick up again due to COVID again. So I think it's really great that this tournament can be taking place. So that's wonderful news to get started. And I think it's going to be a really, really competitive team or tournament with some strong teams there, and with France and Germany and Turkey being there as well. I think they might be able to cause some upsets. Who knows?
And you mentioned that tournament in Ireland. Is that kind of the main preparation that the team's done leading into this tournament?
Yeah, that was definitely the biggest challenge, I would say, to the prep. So a new coach has been appointed to the team around 6 months ago. Shane Dates, coming from Australia, and that's just been a great change. Also, the first time, a big mention to that, the first time that there's a full-time coach for the Dutch team. So definitely, I would say that is the number one prep for the team, because they have had the opportunity to be able to train every single day and have that full-time coach available for the team. So absolutely number one, that's the biggest prep and the biggest opportunity the Dutch team has ever had. Leading up, as I mentioned, the Ireland tour, where they were able to play a series against each other, which was really great that could go ahead as well. And next to that, the girls have been able to play against the boys under 15, under 16s of the Dutch competition here, and that's always good. It's always good to play against boys just a little bit harder, even though they're younger. It's always competitive playing against them. So getting back into that game routine and playing together, that was really good. So I reckon there's been really good prep for the girls. Yeah, absolutely.
Good, fantastic. And obviously a lot of other teams are prepping just as hard. Who do you think, you mentioned a couple earlier, but if you had to pick one team that you're really going to have to go into to beat, who would it be?
That's a tricky one. I think the girls are up against straight away a really competitive game with their first game against Scotland. I think Scotland, Ireland, and the Netherlands, it's always head to head. And really, really depending on the day and how it turns around and what's going to happen in the game, who is able to step up in that game, that will really define, who can pull off the win. And absolutely, Scotland and Ireland are amazing, strong teams. And I was watching the 100 the other day with Sarah Bryce playing there. So she's got that amazing experience from the 100, and a few other players as well. So I think that overall, the great opportunities that the girls have been able to play. So, yeah, I mean, Scotland and Ireland will definitely be tricky games. But yeah, like I said at the start, France, Germany, Turkey, we don't know those teams very well. We've played Germany with a regional competition. They've played a few times, so we have a bit of an idea. But they've been skyrocketing as well. So I think it's difficult to say. I think it's going to be a really competitive competition, and everyone will be fighting at their absolute hardest to get that first place. So I think we'll be seeing a lot of great cricket, and it's going to be exciting watching it from home.
Nice. And you mentioned that obviously there's a lot of cricket that's going to be played, and there's going to have to be a lot of people that kind of step up. And who do you think those key players for the Dutch team would be that would have to step up?
Yeah, that's a good one. I think we've got now, we have a young team. So, speaking about the young talent in the team, they're all young. So I think for our team, having the experience of Miranda Veringmeijer is absolutely key. She performed really well during the Ireland series as well. So we will, from someone like her, I would expect her actually to step up every single game, because we need that base of being able to build around that. And I think that's, she has the most experience in the team, so we'll have to step up every single game, I reckon. Next to that, I think Babette de Lede, Turking batting first. Babette de Lede is one of our younger players, but has been in the team for quite some time as well. She, I think, will be able to step up as well. She's been in really good form, so I think that will absolutely, batting wise, Miranda, Babette will be our leading players, and then really up to the girls to live up to that and really be able to bat around them, I would say, and for other girls to step up, that would just make the batting innings even stronger. So I think that there's a lot of depth into our batting lineup as we have it today, which is really good. The girls have been working incredibly hard on their batting, so that's really good. And in terms of bowling, I think there's a lot of depth there as well. We have a number of pace bowlers, which can really surprise the batter with the new ball, especially. Talking young gun, I would say Isabel van der Woning, who's just joined the team for the Island Series, made her debut there. That can really surprise the batter with her pace and with that new ball and swing. So I think that's absolutely something to look out for with her in the ball.
You mentioned Isabel earlier as a youngster to watch. Is she the youngster to watch?
I would say so. Yeah, like I said, when I had to think about who's the young girl to watch in our team, because they're all so young. But I definitely think Isabel coming into she's the newest addition to the squad. So I definitely think in regards to her bowling, that she can definitely make that change and turn around a game in getting those early wickets in a game. She will be a player to watch. I definitely think so. But next to that, there are other players and other younger players that can make that difference. And I think every single one of the girls will be able to make that change and really step up their game to pull it around, take that wicket, or bat that great inning. So there is a lot of potential in the team, and I think it's really the key thing. I think the biggest challenge is bringing out that potential. There's potential for those girls, but they just need to live up to that expectation, which is of course always a difficult thing to do. So that will be the challenge of the tournament, I would say. Yeah, absolutely.
And having such a young team is great. They're going to bring in a lot of energy. So I guess that would be one of your strengths. You've mentioned a lot of depth in your batting and some depth in your bowling. But what would you say is your team's main strength?
I think also the resilience of the team. To just, we've spoken about the batting and the bowling, and that there's a lot of potential there, but also the resilience of being the underdog at times, especially against an Ireland. Being in that underdog position can really also bring you that strength to turn a game around. So I think these girls know each other well, even being a young squad, working together, having spent that time in training hours, just hours and hours of training, brings you together as a team. And if I would have to say, that's definitely one of the strengths of the team, to be able to stand as a unity, really. And like I said earlier, to really back each other and to give that stage to a player in, turning it around for a batting moment or taking that wicket. But even in the fielding as well, I think, like I mentioned earlier, watching the 100 and that fielding moment, that run out, that changes the game. So I think it will be absolutely key. And that's where that unity as a team that comes to play in your fielding innings, really. And, putting pressure on the batters, not allowing those singles. We've been doing incredible work in boundary fielding. Frederik Overdijk is a great example of that, really her specialty of boundary fielding. And these kind of things, and I think everyone really has their role in the team and knows what they're what they need to do. And I think those are the aspects of making a team really strong and difficult to beat.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Esther, and for answering all those questions.
No worries. Thank you so much.
And we definitely look forward to see how the Netherlands come.
Likewise. Thank you.